Hello! Welcome back, everyone. Here we are once more. I'm Joe.
And I'm Morg.
And we are two B's from Little D. This week, we are getting musical, Morg. We are discussing something you and I are experts on.
Oh my gosh. I got my degree from People magazine and refinery.com, where I've been researching the last hour.
Yes. And did you hear that? Morgan's put in like 10 times the research we normally would. But we are talking about music and the Grammys. Before we do that, though, Morg, a little bit of baggage.
Yes, always the baggage. We come with it for free.
For free, y'all. For free. You're welcome. So, Morg, we got a couple comments last week. Our whole episode was about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's interview with Oprah.
Yes, which I am still reeling from.
Oh, same. I cannot get over how much I think about this and how much it's like I'm still reading about it and everything. So the first thing you and I talked about, though, was Bethany Frankel. And I feel like before I even finished the question, you were like, no, Bethany Frankel is not sorry about what she said. She doesn't care. She doesn't care.
She's not sorry.
And so we got a few comments telling us that we were wrong. And Bethany Frankel is sorry.
Which is, I'm blown away. I can admit when I'm wrong. I just literally had no idea that she would be sorry about this. She is never apologetic on Real Housewives. And so that blew me away.
Yeah, you know, I agree with you. Hindsight for sure, though. I feel like, yeah, I could see her being apologetic because Morg, usually she's not apologetic with housewives. And I feel like she thinks she's better than the housewives. But we're talking about ex-royalty here.
Okay, that's true. It's like she stepped outside her lane.
Yes.
Like, like if you want to say you're better than these women on the Housewives of New York, fine. But no, not Meghan Markle.
Not a national treasure.
Well, I have been loving all the memes, though, too, that have come out. That pause with Oprah has just made my life the what? It's such a great meme.
So I guess I haven't seen that one. I've seen a lot of like Oprah freeze frames. Oprah's facial expressions and overall gestures, like if you watch any of her shows, I mean, she's like the queen of reacting.
Oh, yeah. I saw a good one that was me on mute the entire Zoom meeting, but giving all the expressions to show I'm listening because she really does.
Yes, I am really just starting to get in the meme game of like texting people memes. I know y'all very millennial, but I'm just now getting into it.
I know. Still makes me sweat a little bit.
Quit sending memes more.
Like, oh my God, does this mean something I think it means?
Why are you so obsessed with memes, you millennials?
But yeah, Frankel saying she was sorry. Like, so did she come out and actually apologize, Joe? Like, how did this go down? How do we know she's sorry?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure she tweeted and she was like, I don't remember exactly what she said.
Oh, I got it. She backtracked late Sunday after actually watching the Oprah special. Okay, so bad move there. She hadn't actually watched it.
Yeah, that's why I was like, why are you talking with, like, I would wait until after the interview before I blasted her.
Yeah, because she said emotional distress and racism must feel suffocating and powerless. I'm sorry if I hurt or offended you. Oh, but that's such a crappy response. That's like when you're in a fight with somebody and like, sorry if you're upset.
Oh, Morg, and that's such a housewives move. So since I've been watching the housewives, like the standard housewife apology is like, I'm sorry if I offended you. That was not my intention. It's like never anyone's intention. That is like their phrase. It's like when you're auditioning to be a Bravo housewife, they're like, okay, now read me this line. I'm sorry if I offended you. That was not my intention.
And take no responsibility.
I was drinking and it wasn't my fault. I was very drunk. I never get drunk.
I never. This was the first time for me.
So, wow, Morgan, I know exactly what it takes to be a housewife. So hit us up.
Ugh. I've been telling them to let me know when I'm, picked for a while now.
I had no idea.
I mean, it's not like I want to hang out with those women, but I just think I could play the part. I think I got it down.
Oh, Morg, I do too. I mean, we might have to talk about this another day, but I think I'd be really good at like shutting some of these ladies down.
Oh, Right? Okay, we got to pencil that in, y'all. A future episode coming your way. What will Joe say to the housewives? But like you said earlier, us being the musical experts that we are, this theme this week, of course, is the Grammys. So we're going to be taking you through what happened, all the outfits. People were snubbed. Got to discuss that. But first, I do want to say, I just have to address something we'd said a few episodes ago, and it didn't fit in B baggage this week, but it just needs to be said because J-Lo and A-Rod have split, and we called it.
We did. I mean, J-Lo, good for you, girl, for kicking him to the curb. But I think we all saw that this one wasn't going to last.
Okay, yes. Do we think it's because we outed them? Do we think J-Lo listened to our episode?
Oh, totally, Mark. Totally.
She's like, you made me look like an idiot for this audience base, A-Rod.
They totally knew I wasn't spending Valentine's with anyone. You ruined my life.
Also, though, I feel like there has been now like mixed messages, even between them saying they're breaking up, and then now they've come back and said we're not breaking up, and then that's been actually reversed again. So clearly, they're having like internal issues with making this decision.
Well, Morg, that even kind of brings back memories of Olivia Wilde and Jason Sudeikis, where it was like, wasn't it like the same type deal where it was like, we've been separated for years, and he's like, we've actually been separated for 3 months. Like, it was very weird. It's like the same type deal where it's like, who's playing who?
Yeah, like what are y'all trying to do? Like win some custody battle, or like you want the centaur painting, or like what's going on?
Definitely the centaur painting. Who's gonna get that A-Rod centaur? I'm sure J-Lo wants it so she can destroy it, I hope.
And we are rooting for her, so we'd also like her to get it. But yeah, that is like when they like, it was like Olivia Wilde's team like leaked dates of the breakup with Jason Sudeikis and was like, no, it happened, like we separated a while ago, so it's not like weird that I'm dating someone new now.
Yeah, so I feel like it's all about reputation, or, each person's trying to just save themselves or make themselves look better than they are. So I don't know, but I mean, I think we all see, no matter what the situation here is A-Rod is garbage and J-Lo is awesome.
That's right, and we were right.
And we were right, exactly.
Okay, but to the Grammys, Joe. 2021 Grammys. These were I guess our first awards show in almost a year that actually put themselves back in person 50-50. So it was like 50% in person, 50% participating from home. So we got to see outfits again. They're reviving what once was before, of course, the pandemic. But if it's any indication of us like all coming out of our house, it's looking bleak out there, because what were these outfits?
I mean, I'm kind of surprised nobody went with like pajama loungewear chic. Like, I kind of thought like one person would have tried to be like, haha, like kind of in a funny way. But
Yeah, like Jason Sudeikis winning the award for Ted Lasso in his tie-dyed hoodie.
Oh, really? I didn't even see that, but that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I thought we'd see something like that. Although I will say, I feel like if anyone got close to like pajama loungewear chic, maybe it was Noah Cyrus. Morg. Did you see what she was wearing?
Oh, 100%. She has a ton of people tweeting about her today because it was hilarious. It looked like she was wearing a fitted sheet as like her entire outfit.
Yes, it definitely gave off duvet vibes. Like it just felt like she really threw on like a nice fluffy comforter, like she wasn't ready to leave home. So she brought like her comfort blanket with her.
Yeah, it's like when I want to like take the trash out, but I don't want to put pants on. And so I throw a blanket on.
Well, all right. Well, there you go. That is Noah Cyrus was dressing in Morg garbage wear chic.
That's right. I clothed her yesterday.
A real fashion icon, our Morg is. But Morg, so when I tuned in for a little bit of the Grammys, and the one thing I noticed about Noah Cyrus's outfit is it definitely seemed to be a vision impairment, or like an obstacle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like there was a point where I don't know who won the award, but they flashed to Noah Cyrus, and you just see her mom like peeking her head out to the side, like around her outfit to see the person. And it was just like, come on, like you wouldn't go to the movies and something like that. Like, be respectful. There's people behind you, dude.
Your poor mother came too. Like, can you take that down? Is there like a removable part? Should we talk to the designer? Because,
Yeah, can you deflate it?
I was, directing it. I said, do the duvet look, but somebody else put it together, not me.
Not Morg. Morg would have installed some Velcro
Yeah.
or like a what do you call that? Like an air mattress decompressor thing.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny. Just sucks all the air out. Like those things that they would sell on like as seen on TV so that you could put all your winter clothes under your bed and they'll be so wrinkly.
Yes, one of those. She needed that.
Well, did you see also Phoebe Bridgers wore like a skeleton outfit? So
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Although they didn't come in your pajama wear, I do feel like everyone was emerging from a place of not knowing what fashion is anymore. What do we wear now to these shows?
But Morg, that is like her thing. Like I don't know the reason behind it, but I've seen her several times where she wears like a skeleton outfit. I don't know if she has like an obsession with death or something,
Oh, maybe so.
but it's like her thing, which in my opinion seems very limiting as far as clothing goes. But I mean, sure, girl, I felt like death too.
Her her design team's like, maybe we could try, something a little different. And she's like, no, skeleton.
What if maybe it was like a little fleshy? We could give you like a new dress, or like we could put a dress on top of that nudeness. Like, what if we just, added some skin to those bones?
And then, okay, I actually didn't know that. So I guess I just thought she was popping into her closet, was like, I haven't worn this in a while, doesn't know that it's not Halloween.
She hasn't been outside in a while. She hasn't looked at a calendar. I mean, really, what's the point? I mean, I like your version better.
Oh, and you know who else though did look a little like pajama wear? The Haim sisters. So they're wearing like the wrinkliest Prada dress I've ever seen, and it's all three of them in the same dress, and they annoy me, Joe, just in general. I feel like because I feel like they're trying too hard to look like they like aren't celebrities or aren't famous. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. It's like they're like the hipster of the celebrity
Yeah.
world. They're like very like even the way they stand is like so slouched, which I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can get on board with that because I we were also just hating on Noah Cyrus's like super extravagant dress. But yeah, I'm kind of with you. It's like they're just very it's like too cool for school. Like kind of like Kristen Stewart vibes where they're just kind of like, I mean, the Grammys. I threw on my tunic.
I guess I'm here.
Oh, you put on the same tunic?
But their dress doesn't bother me as much as just, I guess, their overall like look and stuff. I feel like they're definitely trying to appeal to Gen Z audience and very much so trying to just look too cool for it all.
Well, I feel like though they've been around for a long time, so I wonder though, did they shape Gen Z?
Yeah, they brought it.
Yeah. So, Gen Z, you're not original. You have Haim, whatever it is, to thank for this.
You're right. They are looking very much so like all the trends you said we should start following.
Yes, except Morg, they don't have the poses and like the crazy makeup and nails of Gen Z.
I think they could do a TikTok dance though.
They probably could. But Morg, so this isn't exactly on who was wearing what, but I just want to talk about like the nails. Like I just feel like throughout the show, I saw some nails. They've gotten out of control in my opinion. Everyone looked like they had Voldemort fingers, and I'm not here for this trend.
Okay, do we think that's because they've been in the pandemic?
Yes, Morg, maybe they've been in an epidemic. Maybe this is a perfect time to start gunning for that Guinness World Record.
Ew, the rolled up nails
thing.
So gross.
Yeah, but it was weird. I mean, they kind of stopped looking like nails and more like just really long Edward Scissorhand fingers.
Okay, whose were like this? Like, was it, Billie Eilish always has crazy nails, but were there others too?
So the one that really stood out to me, there was definitely several, but one that really stood out to me was Dua Lipa because she performed and in the first part of her performance, she was kind of caressing the microphone stand. And all I could see was her creepy fingernails. Like her fingers were so long and like just rubbing the microphone stand. And I thought Voldemort holding his wand.
Yeah, I'm looking at them now. They're so long. And then Wow, I just had no idea like how fashionable nails had become because I did just Google Grammy nails and like manicures of the
Mhm.
Grammys are an article and it is extreme. Like
Wow.
they're bejeweled. People have
Yeah.
Gucci ones. I am looking at a lot of different nails that I had no idea were even like something that I couldn't afford. Like here's another thing I can't afford.
Add it to the ever-growing list. I'm down for nail art or nail color being part
Yeah.
of your outfit, but I just feel like, come on, y'all, you can't use your hands. Like, is that like a sign of
Yeah, I don't know how Billie Eilish does it.
yeah, I mean, to me, it feels like a sign of like the wealthy. It's like, oh, you're so rich, you don't have to use your hands anymore.
Oh, for real. I do think it's a little FU, you know? It's a little like, "Oh, you can't have nails this long because you have to do things with your hands?"
That's too bad. Like, does someone text on your phone for you?
No, they just like tap really loud. Hey Siri, text Billie Eilish. Oh my god, my Siri came up.
Any other looks, Morg, that you felt were standouts?
Yeah, the only other one I wanted to comment on was Taylor Swift because I felt like she had a really cute flowery dress. And I saw a great tweet that was like, when you leave anthropology, because it definitely was going with her folklore album, you know, like very much so like muted colors, but still
Yes.
floral. And I just thought it did go great with the idea that, yes, when I walk outside of anthropology, that would be like what's on my body.
It definitely had anthro vibes. I really liked it though. I really like wildflowers, but it did really feel very to theme where it was like, oh my gosh, just a wild field of
Mm-hmm.
of flowers in a meadow, which feels like her whole folklore thing. Like even her performance was very like mystical. Like it was just missing a unicorn in a foggy meadow type deal.
Yes, exactly. Like she needed like yes, her outfit brought a theme, but like she needed the rest of it. If we're gonna do it, we need the whole
Yes.
shebang to follow her around. I want a unicorn flittering in the distance. And you're not sure if it was a unicorn, it was just a glimpse
It
of it.
leaves you questioning. Like, are you crazy?
Exactly. She looked great, but she could have done it bigger. All I'm saying.
Yes.
And I applaud her for not having Dua Lipa nails.
Yes. Thank you to all the people who keep their nails reasonable and don't make us feel like jerks for having to keep our nails reasonable because we need to use our hands for a living.
People magazine like sections that are like celebrities, they're just like us. That's how I feel when I see Taylor Swift's nails not being that long.
Keep their nails tight.
Okay, Joe, but last night there was some historical moments. Gotta give it up for Beyonce because I have a few stats for you here. This was her 28th Grammy Award, which is the most ever by a female artist, which is incredible.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Her 79th Grammy nomination, the most ever by a female
Oh my
artist.
gosh.
And she
Yeah.
had 6
Wait,
Grammy.
who had 78?
Who's had 78?
Yeah, if she just broke this record, like who's also had that many? I mean, it's not important, but it's like makes you wonder. I don't know, Morg. Maybe she's been holding this record all along, but every year they just comment on it because every year it's just that amazing to be like, wow, Beyonce holds 74 nominations record. Wow, Beyonce holds 76 nominations record.
They give it to her again.
Beyonce, right? Beyonce broke Beyonce's record.
Yeah, every year they give it back to her. Historical moment. Does it again.
Oh, I feel like we are giving her some song ideas here. Like, yes, Beyonce's only competition is Beyonce.
Oh, I like that. When you're only in competition with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but what else? More historical things.
She had the most Grammy awards won in one night, or not the most. She actually tied with Adele, so 6 Grammys awarded in one night as a match only to Adele,
Mm-hmm.
and then 7 Grammys for consecutive albums. So a record she only shares with 3 other artists or groups.
Wow.
So a lot of big moments for Beyonce last night, which I mean, I guess is almost not surprising though, because she sweeps
Yeah.
it, right? Like she has to be having 79 nominations thus far.
28 wins. Like, man, girl's doing good. You go, Beyonce. All right. Any other surprises or historical moments?
I was gonna also say Megan Thee Stallion, who I love her song Body Yaddy 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 Yaddy. Yeah.
Oh,
You know that
I
song?
do not know that one, but I really like. Tell me, is that the real version or is that the Gremlin edition?
You don't? No, I actually feel like I did a pretty good okay impression of that. That wasn't me like being comical about it.
No. Okay, I don't know that song.
The background is her like kind of making this like it's a song by her because she kind of does this in the background of some of her songs where it's like, "Nyah," but I don't know how to do it, of course, as well as she does. But it's like in her music.
That why does this sound like a character from a fantasy movie? Yeah, yeah.
I'm not doing this well.
Oh, okay.
Body Yaddy is one of her bigger songs. Okay, she won twice actually last night. She won once for the Best New Artist, and then she also won again for her song Savage, which was Best Rap Performance.
I have heard that one and not like on the radio or anything. I've only heard it because oh my gosh, TikTok beat that to death. Like I don't even have a TikTok and I saw 1,000 people doing this dance that wasn't really a dance. It was more like some hip rolls, but like okay. Anyways, rant over.
Yeah, I feel like she has gotten really popular because the Body Yaddy also became a big TikTok song because you do this really hard dance move, which she does in her music video during it, but like she'll like repost people who've posted them all the time on her Instagram and call it Body Yaddy Challenge.
Okay, well, I'll have to look it up. I'm gonna look it up. I was picturing like running in place to body yada 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 yada. Like it just feels like you'd just be sprinting in your own little spot.
You do like a really hard move where I think you have to have like amazing glutes because you're like really low and it must be hard on your knees because it's like you're really low and your knees are kind of like going in and out while you do it. And I'm like,
Okay,
whoa, can't do
definitely
that.
gonna have to Google this.
Pop, your knees will pop a lot.
What you're saying is we're too old for this, Morg?
Yeah.
My glutes can't hold me.
But Megan Thee Stallion won, and the historical reference that I was going to say. So not only did she win both Grammys, but Megan Thee Stallion is also the first Black woman rapper to win Best New Artist in 22 years.
Oh, good for her. Who won it 22 years ago?
Since Lauryn Hill in 1999, who I...
Oh, yeah. She was part of the Fugees, and then she had a solo album, but she just did the one album, and then I think she quit music.
That is who the last winner was. Megan Thee Stallion is a Texas, homegrown rapper, Joe. She's from Houston.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. And Beyonce's from Houston. Houston produces Grammy winners.
And she's apparently looked up to Beyonce since childhood. So she was commenting a lot about how
that's extra
special it was last night that Beyonce was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Blue Ivy.
No.
Beyonce's 9-year-old daughter also won. So that was the other historical item. No, what? That is just a fact.
Morg. Didn't she already win? Morg, because I'm sorry, I kind of have an issue with this because do you remember when Blue Ivy was like a newborn and they said she was the best, like the only baby to have a #1 song on the charts? And it was like, I'm sorry, like crying does not count. And they made a huge deal out of it. And ever since then, I'm over Blue Ivy's child music career.
Oh, because they gave her like all this credit for crying in a song?
Yes, Morg, do you not remember this? It was like a huge deal. And I was like, I'm not even going to entertain this, people. Like, no, a child is crying. There's no skill there.
But that's not her fault. And now she actually has a real one.
You're right. It's not Blue's fault. The Grammys are rigged. But anyways, what did Blue win?
Blue won Best Music Video for a music video called Brown Skin Girl. It says Beyonce and Jay-Z's daughter were among the winners for the Best Music Video for Brown Skin Girl.
Good for you, Blue Ivy. I'm sure she's going to, if she's starting writing this young, I'm sure she's going to be a megastar. She might be beating Beyonce's Grammy nomination record, Morg.
Yeah, she gets to start really young, so
Yeah, Beyonce didn't have that. She didn't start at 9 years old.
watch out, mom. Watch out.
Let's see.
Joe, I know we just touched on this a little bit because although we had some awesome winners last night, there are some people missing. There were people missing in the crowd. And there's, of course, kind of a conspiracy, which we love, that the Grammys are rigged. You have to know the right people to be a part of the nominations and then the winning group.
Yeah, but at the same time, it should be based on like a criteria, which I'm sure they say it is, and it should be sent off to some judges who are totally impartial, maybe like in a different country who have no relationship to these people. Like it should be
Oh, like
completely
just people who've never heard of them
like
just listening in a room like, yes, this is the best new
yes.
song.
Yes, like maybe some experts that live in like yeah, a different country and it's like, okay, we're gonna play you this song for the first time. Also, how sick of a job would that be? Like I'd be all over that job if someone was like, okay, you can't do any research on pop culture. You cannot listen to any music except for old music because that won't be included. But like we'll pay you a bunch of money if you avoid all of these things. I would do that job.
Okay, that sounds like it would be really hard for me, but I feel like you would love that.
I would love that.
And I guess the thing is too, it reminds me of being on a jury for a court case. You're like not allowed to Google anything about the case. You're not allowed to research anything about the case because you, of
Yeah.
course, are supposed to appear in court and be a judge to whether or not this person did this crime without having outside influence. So I feel like it'd be pretty hard to get people to do this. Like you have to be an expert in music, but you're not allowed to listen to music.
Okay. But I feel like people would submit themselves for this. Be like, okay, you can apply here. We're going to choose
Okay.
8 people to be judges. If you will find out a year in advance if you are selected and starting from then on like you cannot listen it. But I guess it'd be hard because it's like how do you monitor it? But just tell them they're going to be fined a lot if they
You go to a resort. Like, come on, it's the Grammys. Like, you volunteered to be a judge for the Grammys. You go live on a resort island for a year, and you don't hear any music from this
and I'm
year.
sure they'd pay. Yeah, I would be all over that. Oh my gosh. Oh, man, I feel like this should definitely be how awards are done because I don't even think the Grammys are the only award show that have been accused. Like, I mean, the Oscars too, Morg. Honestly, all of them. It feels so political. It's like, who do you know? And like, who, whatever. I mean, I feel like this is where if they're going to save award shows, this is what they need to do.
You,
Because the Academy, every time I heard the word
the
the Academy, I like
Academy.
roll my eyes. It's like, shut up. Who's the Academy? They suck.
In January of 2020, though, there is a legitimate complaint filed by the previous chief of the Grammys, Deborah Dungan, and she alleges that they are in fact rigged. Now, of course, the Academy has denied this, said, no, that's not the case, blah, blah, blah.
Of course they have. Why would they be like, yeah,
Yep, she's right. We are rigging this.
yeah, which is, yeah, would be like, oh, busted. We've been rigging it all along, y'all. So we'll see you at the Grammys like in a couple months. Right on.
I mean, what she alleges, though, is pretty dark. Like, also sexual harassment. There's a lot of things that she alleges that have just been overlooked. So the Grammys themselves as an institution sound pretty corrupt.
Ooh. I mean, honestly, I feel like the only way this is going to change is if people stop watching it, people stop attending it, people stop submitting their work, and we're probably part of the problem considering we're sitting right here discussing the Grammys.
Talking about it. Just so people know, this is how Dungan described the voting for, or Dugan, I don't know how to say her name properly, but this is in her complaint. This is how she explained the voting process as it stands today. So there's secret committees to make the top 20 selections for each category. However, there may be conflicts of interest because, according to Dugan, the board members who have relationships with certain artists will, in these committees, just push them for consideration as nominations and winners. So it's just kind of silly.
Yeah, it's like you want your person to win, like no duh. I mean, that's why you've got to get people who aren't that
We
involved.
got to do the island. We got to do the island.
Yeah, or it feels like a conflict of interest. Like if you have a horse in the race or whatever, like you shouldn't be on this committee or vice versa.
Yeah. I just kind of feel like all of these award shows are very much so bought. Not not necessarily the top slots, but it's almost like the people who even get nominated.
Morg, like I have the biggest issue with do you remember how Ben Affleck directed a movie? It was the first movie he like ever directed, and there was this outrageous scene. It was I don't know, it was the one, it was based on a true story, and it's about the hostages and I want to say like Iraq, but there was a ridiculous car chase scene where the car chased an airplane. And I think in that moment I was like completely taken out of the movie, like that would never happen. And he wasn't nominated for Best Director, but his movie was nominated and won Best Picture. Like, how on earth? I don't know. I think at that point I was like, yeah, all of this is rigged. Like, it was like a really eye opening moment for me where I was like, there's no way that was the Best Picture.
Like, was it called Argo?
Yep, it was Argo.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when that won. It was like very confusing.
I know, and I don't think I was the only person mad about it. Like, I think a lot of people were like, I'm sorry, what? Like, no. There's no way.
Aren't we like at a point where we don't need the academies and we can all vote? Like, aren't we the listenership in the first place?
Oh, you mean People's Choice more?
But I thought People's Choice was, maybe I'm thinking of Kids' Choice. Is there a People's Choice Awards? Just like generally?
Yeah, there is a People's Choice Award. I don't know how it works. It's not a very popular one, I don't think.
See.
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I don't know.
Maybe we need to expand that and take over the Grammys or diversify it and make it so that we no longer need the Oscars committee or academy. I feel like I'm now on a hit list for whatever
the Academy Morg
group they have that do that. Yeah, the Academy hit list.
Like a mafia, the Academy Mafia.
This lady's talking about us.
We're on to ya.
I do think that some of the people from last night's Grammys were completely missed, and it kind of, further underlines the idea that maybe they're just completely not in the circle that the Academy deems appropriate to be nominated, one of which was The Weeknd. Hello, he just performed at the Super Bowl, and he wasn't even nominated for anything, much less, of course, a winner.
Well, and he also had a song that was a huge TikTok dance hit. So, just, if we're going off of TikTok popularity.
So, if that's any rule of thumb, we know the songs that are used for TikTok dances do very well.
The people liked it, okay? Why didn't the Academy?
But I just thought that was surprising.
Oh, I agree.
Wasn't he kind of like, excuse me?
Oh, upset. I think upset is an understatement. I mean, again, this is all via tweet, but when I read the tweet, Morg, it felt like a little stronger than upset. I think he was very angry. But again, I could be reading it wrong. I tend to maybe read into things.
Who, us? No. We would never read into anything.
Never.
Okay, Joe, yeah, I'm looking at the tweet right now, and I don't think you read into it wrong because I'll read it verbatim. He said, because of the secret committees, I will no longer allow my label to submit my music to the Grammys. So I think that is pretty upset, but further underlining his anger towards the Grammys, in 2020, he tweeted, the Grammys remain corrupt. You owe me, my fans, and the industry transparency. So I don't think you read that wrong.
Wow. So this is not his first brush with being snubbed. I wonder if he's ever even been nominated for a Grammy or anything. Like, why are these people not, well, we know because it's corrupt, but I mean, why are these people not considering him or whatever?
So he did win a Grammy in 2015 for Best Urban Contemporary Album. Like you said, Joe, he's featuring TikTok songs. He knows he deserves more recognition.
He did the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and he did the Super Bowl. So I think he's definitely feeling snubbed,
I don't blame him. I would be angry too, Weeknd.
Do we think it's because he's Canadian? Are we less likely to give... The BTS, the Korean pop group, also didn't get a win. Do we think it's less likely that we don't give it to artists outside the US?
It could be Morg, but I mean, we got to consider Justin Bieber. He's also Canadian. How did our boy Bieber do? And what about Drake, another Canadian? Celine Dion, how many Grammys does she have? I mean, a lot of great musicians come out of Canada.
Okay, my theory is not checking out.
I mean, I don't know. I think maybe we need to do a little more research on it because I'm curious to see. I would love to see some old interview with Celine Dion where she's like, "The world's rigged."
Are you saying she'll sing a song about the awards being rigged?
I hate the Grammys.
You owe me and the Weeknd answer.
Corruption.
I think it'd be great. I see a duet in their future.
Oh, I thought you were going to say me and Celine's future. That's what I mean, y'all. When I said we were experts, I meant we were very good at singing.
But it's interesting you bring up Justin Bieber because, Joe, he was nominated and he didn't come. He snubbed the Grammys, not the other way around.
Oh, was he looking out for a fellow Canadian?
Maybe so. Maybe the Weeknd gave him a ring-a-ling and said,
Canadians stick together.
No, Joe, actually, I think he was a bit offended in the category he got nominated in because he, of course, had, I believe, an R&B album and he was nominated in pop. So it was kind of like, this isn't what this was supposed to be.
Yes, I did see his message on that and it kind of made me giggle because he's like very much like, look, I really appreciate you guys nominating me. I'm very appreciative that you're recognizing my music, but you got it wrong. And I find it a little weird that you got it wrong. But again, I'm very thankful. Like it kind of made me think of like myself at my job where it's like, or like at a restaurant, you're like, I didn't order this, but it's fine. I'll eat it. Like, it's totally fine.
And I find it weird I'm eating it because I didn't order it, but I will eat it.
Yeah, like at work where you're like, this isn't in my job description. So I find it a little weird that you're making me do it, but I'll do it. And I'll keep doing it for 2 years before I really say anything. I'm super thankful to be employed.
I feel like, yeah, the direct quote from his tweet was, for this not to be put into the category that it was feels weird, considering from the chords to the melodies to the vocal style, all the way down to the hip hop drums that were chosen. It is undeniably and unmistakably an R&B album.
Ooh.
So he was really like coming at the Grammys for their nomination being in correct category.
Morg. He's questioning the Academy and questioning the secret committees who are apparently experts. Like, maybe they're not experts. Maybe you and I could be judges for the Grammys because I don't know the difference either.
Yeah, right? I would never have known I could do this.
Yeah.
He does clarify, I absolutely love pop music. It just wasn't what I set out to make. It is so much like you said, like, listen, it's not what I wanted, but like it's weird that it happened, and I'm thankful.
I'm still really thankful.
So him and his wife didn't come because they were like, that's not even what this song's supposed to be.
Yeah, well, I still like the theory that Canadians stick together.
It goes back to the Weeknd.
Yeah.
Joe, because we're close to the end of our episode, I do want to end with a question for you. What category would you add to the Grammys to award for future years? Like, what do we need to see more of? What is missing from the Grammys? Clearly a lot, including the Weeknd.
Oh, yes. Well, Morgan, and that's where my mind immediately goes is just having talked about people getting snubbed. And it feels like this isn't the first time is there needs to be a category of like best previously snubbed song. So it's like we're bringing back like cult favorites, the ones that got overlooked, and they're all running together.
Like all the songs that still get played at every single wedding I go to.
Yeah. Like Living on a Prayer. Did that win anything?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. It seems like it might have because I hear it so much.
Yeah, but who knows? Maybe it wasn't. But yeah, maybe the Weeknd's whatever the song that was can be in the category up against someone else was snubbed, who let the dogs out.
Okay, and what time period would you know, like it had to have come out? Like it's still.
Yeah, you're right. We need more rules.
Yeah, so like best song to make a comeback of the century? Are we going to give a whole century, a decade? What are you feeling?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think a century could be really funny because I mean, you could have something up against like a pretty current song. Like you could have like a ballad or like I don't know.
Like I'm just thinking of like "Oh Great Thou Art," like some
Yes.
like really great like church chorus songs.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's really a catch-all. So when the Grammys, they screw up and they know they screwed up, they just put that, you know, people are pissed. They just drop that song in that category.
Okay, it's like a catch-all.
Bada bing, bada boom. It's a catch-all.
It's like, yeah, you didn't make it your year, but we are acknowledging that now you too are being played at weddings.
Yeah, and then you're still hopeful where you're like, my song didn't get a Grammy this go around, but maybe next year, maybe in a century even.
I got a whole 100 years to get it.
But what about you, Morg? If you could add, if you feel like, because I mean, there's so many categories in the Grammys, but do you feel like there's anything else that they're lacking? Anything else they could add?
I just think that they're getting actually very granular with some of their awards that they give, you know,
Yes.
where it's like, and I feel like they need to actually strike out a few. Like,
I agree.
I think we need to get rid of some as opposed to keeping them. So I think, I don't know, is that bad? Is it bad that I'm getting rid of some of these?
No, I mean, I don't disagree because I think there's a handful of categories. Like I read recently Hillary Clinton has a Grammy for like best spoken word. And I mean, it's just kind of like, come on, guys, like let's put that in some sort of speech awards ceremony, like, and leave it off the Grammys. Like, I mean, there's just so many. No wonder nobody watches these award ceremonies. They're like 5 hours.
Yeah, if it was really the top 3 awards, like best artist of the year, best music video, maybe like the most watched items that they leave for all at the end, paired with all the performances you get to see, which make it fun.
Yeah.
You don't need all these weird little categories. Is that just so people will like feel special?
I don't know, but I know that we as a country do not have the attention span for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't for sure. So I'm cutting out categories.
Okay, I'm with you. But can we cut out a lot of categories, but leave in my category?
Yes, yours can stay. I feel like, let me pick a few that need to go. The one you said, spoken word, that one's weird.
Right? Isn't it even called that? It's like spoken word. Who named this category?
It is. It is called spoken word. And then there's categories that I don't even feel like I understand. Best package? Like, what does that mean?
Maybe they're talking about a literal package.
Those are a few of the ones I would get rid of. I would also get rid of children's. Like, there is a whole children's like award show. They can participate in that. Like, and that has all its own categories as well.
Wait, there's a child Grammys and we didn't talk about it?
No. There's not a child Grammys, but there's like Kids' Choice Awards and stuff. Like you can go win over there.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need to have the category at the Grammys.
Okay, now I'm with you. And I agree. There's so many award shows as it is. Like everyone should just get together, decide which awards they're going to give out, like just reduce them all, but make sure that there's enough variety that everyone gets an award in some award show.
So you're like we need a UN for award shows, like the United Nations of award shows.
Yes, we do.
Governing the whole thing. Maybe that will take some of the corruptness out.
Apparently.
Of of course, the Grammys, as the Weeknd noted.
I think that's exactly what we need then.
There's also something called notes, the award notes. So I feel like those are the ones the best album notes.
Like you wrote a letter inside of your album where it's like, dear listener, I hope you enjoy this XOXO.
Like, I feel like that is what I'm reading. It's like the album notes writer. Those are the categories I'd get rid of. In summary, spoken word, package, children's, notes. Those are gone.
Yes, I had no idea these existed.
So sadly, I didn't add, but I think that it needed to slim down anyways.
I think we realized that they didn't need more.
Yeah, sometimes more is less.
Yes, exactly. They really, They need to go back and do some, what do you call that? Editing? They need to do some editing.
Record the whole thing, cut out all the ones we don't want to see, and just have those. Like, they know they won. Don't show it to us on TV.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Well, I feel like we have had a full-packed episode of us using all of our intellectual knowledge of musical artists and the Grammys. And next week, we're going to have another fun episode for you. We are 2Bs from Lil D. We drop episodes every week on Fridays, and we'd love for you to follow us on Instagram and send us some B baggage. That's when you send us questions, comments, concerns, info, whatever you want us to talk about. We love B baggage. Hit us up. Come back next week.